I want to do a quick TLDR here because this video ended up being way longer than I thought it was going to be. I just want to say up front, the only people I was talking about in this situation were the people complaining about how I spend my money. If you don't fall into that camp, then this was not about you in any way, shape, or form. I do not care which graphics cards you can or can't afford or which one you buy. Literally every night people post their PC builds in my chat and I congratulate every single one of them, and these PCs are from all sorts of budgets, from 10 series cards to I'm assuming soon to be 40 series cards. I've never once poor shamed someone in my chat, so this whole notion is very ridiculous to me, but I will admit I did word this really poorly, and being in a live setting obviously didn't give me the opportunity to kind of formulate my response and how I actually wanted it to come across, plus I was focusing more on COD at the time, so I do apologize if it did offend anybody. That was not the intention whatsoever. The only people that this was targeted at was the people who were upset about me spending my own money the way I wanted to. So if you don't fall into that category, this was never about you, and I'm sorry if it came off that way. But with that said, let's go ahead and get into the video. What's up, my fellow gamers? Hope you guys are all having a great day today, just full of positivity and happiness, dude, because, you know, we're going to be looking at probably my favorite type of content on YouTube, and that, of course, is some good old-fashioned YouTube drama. Now, this video we're going to be watching here today is about a recent live stream clip that, you know what, I will admit, first off, that, you know, I could have worded it a lot better. In the time of me playing Call of Duty on shipment, focusing more on the game than what I was actually saying at the time, yeah, I could have chosen my words a little bit better. I will take the L on that one. But what I think is happening here is something that's just really laughable to me because people are really taking this shit way out of context, in my opinion. And it's the perfect example of if the full clip was there, people would realize it's like, if it don't apply, let it fly. So hopefully I can add some more clarity to this situation with this video and we can have a good laugh at the end of the day, because the video we're going to be watching here, I actually laughed a couple times while biking earlier at the gym. So yeah, I think it should be pretty entertaining, man. So I don't really think we need much more of an introduction here. The video's title is Griffin Gaming Poor Shames Viewers Over RTX 4090 Criticism. So already, man, you already know this is going to be an absolute banger, so let's go ahead and play this shit. And that's the scary thing is, too, we're not even talking about a lot of money. It's literally fucking 1,500 bucks, man. That is not a life-changing sum for any human being on this planet. Now, admittedly, if I would have gone back and chosen my words differently, I should have said somebody who's in the market for a brand new top-of-the-line GPU. You know, 1,500 bucks is not a life-changing sum of money, but in reality, for most people who would even consider buying a 4090, 1,500 bucks is not going to make or break anyone. The common kind of argument I've seen with this is 1,500 bucks could pay my rent for the month. Well, that's not going to change your life. It's going to pay your rent for the month. So that was kind of the point I'm getting at. Again, I could have chosen my words a lot better, so I'll hold the L on that one. I could definitely understand if you just heard that clip, you would think I'm a pretentious douche.
See, what the fuck are you talking about?
Griffin Gaming is a YouTuber that I've defended quite a few times before, and usually his takes aren't exactly anything ludicrous, but as of recently they do seem to be getting worse and worse no matter what topic he's discussing.
Like, could we get an actual example of like one of those takes? Because I would actually be interested in knowing. But the thing is, man, is I've stopped pretending to care about shit that I don't. Like, you probably notice I don't upload as much anymore. That's because I've just genuinely stopped caring about a lot of shit in the video game industry. You know, the way I look at it is, especially in my streams, man, like, people go back and forth with me all the time. I think that's part of the appeal of my streams is, you know, anybody and everybody can talk shit to me. I don't ban anyone unless you're spamming or saying like some really racist stuff. Like, I have arguments in chat all the time with people. Like, that's part of the fun of it. So I've just stopped pretending to care about the popular take on things. If I say something, it's typically what I'm thinking. Now, admittedly, in streams, I don't get the opportunity to, you know, formulate what I want to say like I do in a video, which is why I'm taking the opportunity to make this video.
He's also well known for taking criticism incredibly well.
Oh, let's go. PG Wavy with the 2. For Tang has been tweeting about you all day. Bro, for months that dude has been in my DMs begging me to like collab or come on stream with them or play games with them. You know, it's just, I don't know. I don't fucking care at the end of the day, but it's just very convenient. There ain't no love in these YouTube streets, man. That's all I can tell you. And that's the reason why I've never bothered to make friends with YouTubers, because nobody fucking cares about each other. Like, yeah, dude, when I was playing the fucking Halo campaign, this dude's sending me fucking Discord DMs asking me to play co-op with him. Dude, if this is the definition of taking criticism poorly, I don't really know what you expect for people taking criticism well, because it's like, I literally said, I don't care. Did I explode? Did my tone change at all? Did I kind of just like go, whatever, this dude's been in my DMs for months asking me to collab, play Halo Infinite with him, and then all of a sudden, he's tweeting about me all day. That's literally all I was saying, dude. Like, it was just a pretty tame response, in my opinion. I wasn't like going, how dare he say anything about me? Like, that would not be responding to criticism well. Like, literally me just kind of laughing it off and trying to move on from the fucking super chat is not what I would consider handling criticism poorly. My dude, even when we were exchanging messages and I literally said, this shit's free real estate, I don't blame you for making the video. Like, I'm okay with this shit. This is what YouTube is, bro. People talk shit. It ain't a big deal.
God, isn't it just amazing how when Griffin calls out his friend's bad takes, it's perfectly reasonable and not clout chasing at all.
When did I say it's clout chasing, my guy? And dude, that video was from 3 years ago. I'm pretty sure Review Tech USA had never even heard of me at that point. And also, I've never spoken to Review Tech USA. I wouldn't classify us as friends. I mean, I'm friendly with him. I've enjoyed his content. Like, I think he makes good news videos, but like, what the fuck is this shit, dude? I don't have friends on YouTube. I don't talk to other YouTubers. So you using this as like some gotcha moment, like, oh, you're friends with Review Tech USA and made a video on him, but for Tanga can't talk about you. Like, that's just a mute point, bro. Like, literally, it doesn't even apply in this situation. Review Tech and I have never even exchanged a message outside of a YouTube chat, my dude. I mean, shit, man, if that's your qualification for being a friend with someone, like, we're closer to friends than anyone else on this platform I've talked about, my guy. And what did I say to you when we were talking about this exact topic in that Discord chat? I said it's free real estate and I don't care. So I'm really confused where this how dare you energy you think I'm having is coming from, bro. Like, if anything, this is great for me because I can make fucking money off this shit.
But as soon as any of the people he's friendly with decide to criticize a bad take of his, he implodes on stream, calling them clout chasers and backstabbers.
Again, find me the clip where I said somebody backstabbed me. I don't think that exists, and you know it too. I mean, this is literally after you played the clip of me explaining why I don't become friends with YouTubers because nobody gives a fuck about you on this platform, which is 100% true.
Also, why do you feel the need in this scenario to just blatantly lie about people? Especially when it's over the most asinine things imaginable.
Again, man, that's kind of more of semantics. He asked me. He didn't beg. Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. If I could choose my words again, sure, I would pick it differently. But the point remains, he was in my DMs trying to be all buddy-buddy with me and then immediately switches up to tweeting about me for 12 hours a day. So, literally, that was the point I was trying to make, man. 1 second, people are acting like they want to be your best friend, and then the next minute, they'll talk shit about you, which is why I was explaining why I don't make friends with YouTubers. You've presented no proof of me acting like someone has any sort of obligation not to quote-unquote backstab me.
If you're going to lie about something, don't do it about something so easy to dispute and something so pointless.
My guy, you literally showed the DMs of him asking me to stream with me and also to play Halo with him. Where was the lie?
Going, haha, you're a loser, you've been in my DMs begging, in response to normal criticism makes you look completely inept at taking any form of criticism, Griffin.
But what is the criticism I'm replying to, man? I'm not on Twitter. I didn't even know this guy was tweeting about me until someone sent me a super chat seconds before. Like, what do you want me to do in that situation?
And although his takes in videos are usually good, his takes on streams are often pretty bad. If he isn't shitting for Activision during them, you know something's wrong. But
I could barely understand what was being said there, but I'm thinking he said shilling for Activision, which, you know, if me not caring about loot box bad and like Diablo Immortal, a literal free-to-play game on a cell phone, is me shilling for Activision, then whatever, man, I don't really care. If that's the only example of a quote-unquote bad take I've had on stream that you're gonna reference, then yeah, you're gonna have to do a lot better.
outside of that, along with the questionable takes he often has, they're fairly enjoyable.
Could we get an example of those takes again? But also, that's the whole point of my streams, man, is we talk shit and have fun. We talk about crazy fucking ideas, random shit. Like, that's part of the reason why I enjoy streaming, is because I can just throw out a random fucking idea and see how people react to it. Like, that's why it's called a hot take.
However, one of his recent takes, you just have to sit back and take in to its fullest extent to truly grasp how utterly ludicrous it is.
But there lies the biggest problem, man. This was like a 10 to 15 minute rant where all the context is front loaded in the rant, and this like clip that everybody's basing this off of is 2 minutes long, and it's at the very tail end of it. So of course, it sounds like shit. I'll admit it, bro. Like honestly, I should have picked my words a little bit more carefully, but I was playing Call of Duty on shipment. Most of my attention was on the game. So yeah, I will hold the L on that one. But the people I was specifically talking about, let's clear this up right now, are the people that sit at home all day complaining about how other people spend their money online. If you don't fall into that category, this clip was not about you, because this is what I find really funny. He's acting like I hate poor people or anyone who can't afford a 4090. I'm like attacking. Like, bro, how many people in my chat, like anybody who watches my streams can probably attest to this. How many people come in my chat every single night and say, hey, Griffin, I just got my first PC with like a 3070 or a 2080 or whatever. And I'm like, that's awesome, bro. Not once will you ever find an example of me going, oh my God, you're fucking poor. Get the fuck out of here. Like, that's what I mean. This whole thing is absolutely fucking ridiculous. The people I'm talking about are people who sit online all day, have no life outside of complaining about how other people spend their money, aka pocket watchers. So again, like I said at the beginning, if it don't apply, let it fly.
I think it's fair to say most people are getting beyond fed up with Nvidia's bullshit over the past couple of years, whether it's increasing the prices of cars in order to push the cost of their terrible financial decisions when it comes to them over manufacturing the 30 series, or locking DLSS 3.0 behind the 40 series whilst publicly admitting that it could technically run on an older RTX card, or blatantly scamming customers by labeling the RTX 4080 with 12GB of VRAM as an RTX 4080 despite the fact it shares nothing in common with its 16GB counterpart, as it has less CUDA cores, less VRAM, a slightly higher clock speed, but also a significantly lower bandwidth.
Yeah, I sped this shit up because none of this even has anything to do with the technical specifications of a GPU. I don't think I even mentioned the technical specifications once.
Meaning the leak saying Nvidia renamed the 4070 to the 4080 12GB model in order to mislead consumers into thinking they didn't increase the 70 card's price from $500 US to $900 before taxes were false.
Again, this has nothing to do with me. I don't even know why this is being brought up. Like, the only thing I could even think that maybe has something to do with it is the fact I said, if you don't like the price that the cards are at right now, do what everybody does who doesn't want to spend a lot of money on technology. Either buy the older model or wait till it goes on sale. Like, is that really such a hot take?
Because Nvidia clearly renamed the 4060 to the 4080. And oh boy, don't get me started on the insanely misleading performance charts Nvidia is using to promote the 4090 actually are. Their benchmarks use DLSS 3.0 on performance mode and are not representative of the real performance, since DLSS 3 generates fake frames using artificial intelligence in order to quote-unquote boost frame rates, which only time will tell just how bad that is. Actually, scrap what I just said, time doesn't need to tell us, because even Nvidia's promotional material that obviously only ever showcases the best case scenario shows it's pretty bad, with noticeable issues. Now you're probably wondering, with all of those issues, how the fuck can anyone unironically shame other people for saying, maybe you shouldn't buy the 4090, because even if we forget about how poorly they treated companies like EVGA and essentially every single one of their partners, the numerous scummy business tactics Nvidia has been using recently alone should make anyone, and I mean anyone, take a step back and go, not only am I buying a product that won't give me any insane performance boost, but I'm also just supporting a terrible company, so I'll stick with my 3090.
Alright, so this is where it gets very interesting. You can clearly see he's bringing morality into this thing. Like, why would you support a shitty company like that? Why would you buy their new product? Blah, blah, blah. Now, what's interesting about this is later in the video, he's going to tell me that, you know, I don't need to take a moral stance when it comes to buying a GPU, which is completely contradictory to this entire long rant that he's been on for the past, like, 2 minutes, basically. And to add the cherry on top of all of this, in the messages that I exchanged with this dude talking about this topic, he literally admits that he sees the value offered by the 4090 at its retail price. Like, dude, I don't really know what else I have to say here. Like, I'm not going to take a moral stance when it comes to buying a graphics card that I literally use to edit and play video games on. And not to mention something that I want. So if I see a value in what I'm spending my money on, and even you admit you see a value in what I'm spending my money on, and we throw morality out of the equation, what the fuck is the problem here?
Or even if you don't give a shit about the morality of buying any of these cards from Nvidia, maybe don't go out of your way to poor shame viewers for commenting on the bad financial decisions you invited your viewers to comment on by making it public discourse.
But see, that's the thing, man. It goes both ways. If people want to get up in my case about how I'm spending my money and I make it public, then it goes both ways. I can reply to them just like they reply to me. Like, it doesn't just cut off like, oh, they're allowed to talk shit and I can't say anything back. That's not how it works. The whole point of me being live is chat interaction. And also, where have I ever poor shamed somebody, bro? Like, me making fun of absolute losers who do nothing else with their life but be upset with how I spend my money is just the same thing as me and you calling out console fanboys that do absolutely nothing with their life except defend a piece of plastic from anyone who dares to insult it on the internet. Like, it's the exact same energy I've been doing for fucking years, only this topic hit home with you, and apparently it did apply, so you ain't gonna let it fly, man. Now again, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt because the clip was taken out of context 100%. If you had the beginning part, I think it would make a lot more sense, and I don't really think this would be as controversial as a take as a lot of people are expecting it to be, but I just want to make it abundantly clear here. I'm not talking about people who don't want to spend $2,000 on a fucking GPU. Obviously, that's not going to be everyone. In the exact same clip, I even point out the fact that probably less than 5% of the market for PC gaming would even consider buying a 4090. So that whole notion is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Which this is the top of the line card. Less than 1% of the market is probably going to buy it.
I mean, Jesus Christ, somehow me simply disagreeing with Griffin here has resulted in him crying on his community tab around 20 minutes after I announced the video was going to come out eventually.
I mean, what the fuck do you even expect, man? You don't think I'm gonna reply? I mean, your thumbnail's literally insinuating that I hate poor people. You don't think I'm gonna get just as petty?
I know who's as irrelevant as me in comparison to your godlike channel that's totally not had standing growth for over a year and totally hasn't lost over 1,000 subscribers due to the way you've reacted to this scenario.
That's right, man. I'm the clout god Griffin Gaming who cares so much about his sub count that even though it's a known fact that if you live stream every single night, you lose about 100 subs and who barely uploads maybe except once every 2 weeks, you know, I'm really concerned about that sub count, my dude. I think the projection's kind of starting at this point.
It is truly an honor to know you're subscribed and have bell notifications turned on, like you all should. I don't know how to break the news to you, Griffin, but if I were to clout chase, it shows I wouldn't be from a channel with standing growth for over a year and one who I share a significant portion of my audience with.
Actually, that's exactly who you should piggyback off of as people you share an audience with. But anyway, I never said you were clout chasing, my dude. I said you were starting a drama because the views from the previous drama were wearing off. I'm not saying I'm this clout god of YouTube. You're the one implying that shit.
There's no clout to chase here. We share a fucking audience. If anything, this video is far more likely to cause a mass loss of subscribers than anything. Although with how your own community reacted under your community post, I'm not too sure that'll happen now. If I were to clout chase, I'd pick a much more relevant topic. Like the Cyberpunk video I'm going to release eventually. And I honestly do have to feel at least somewhat sympathetic for Griffin here. It must be rough getting ratioed in the replies of your own community post by a channel who has fallen off as hard as mine has.
Yeah, man, it just really kept me up at night. The only solace I found was at the bottom of a fucking bottle.
But hey, I think I've said enough. Let's take a look at Griffin's totally totally reasonable and totally not unhinged rant.
I don't know, man. I don't need to hear the perspective of a bunch of brokies who can't even fucking buy it anyway. Like, fuck off.
Damn, Griffin, it must cut deep knowing that it isn't just the quote-unquote brokies calling you out for your weird need to flex your financial decisions and then cry about people commenting on them.
Apparently, it's me flexing my financial decisions if someone asks me if I'm interested in getting a 4090 and then remembering how people called me out for the 3090 saying I should have bought like a 6900 XT instead or some bullshit. I don't even know, man. The whole thing is, I wasn't talking about people who don't want to buy a 4090 or who cannot afford to spend $1,000 on a GPU. The entire point of me ranting was about the people who were upset and making the claim that I was ruining PC gaming by buying these GPUs. Again, if you don't fall into that category, I wasn't talking about you. And again, I could have worded it better, so I will take some accountability for that. But if you had the beginning of this clip or the clip in its entirety, I think it would make a lot more sense exactly who I'm talking about.
Like, how are you going to cry about people making fun of forgive you for making poor financial decisions when you feel the need to always publicly tell everyone about them. You are blatantly inviting people to discuss how you spend your money when you do that, and yet you're getting audibly upset over people discussing it. If you do not want people talking about how you spend your money, don't repeatedly open up the discourse.
Yes, and by opening that door, it also allows me to respond to those people calling me out just the same way they tried to call me out. So again, it goes both ways, my guy. It doesn't just stop that, oh, I make a statement and then everybody can talk shit about me and I can't reply. Also, I'm not really using this as an excuse, but I am playing Call of Duty right now, and I do tend to be a lot more fucking abrasive than I normally would be when I'm playing a video game. Like, I had people going like, you're encouraging Nvidia to constantly raise the price. Good, I fucking hope they double it next year, you sick piece of shit.
Now, in fairness to Griffin here, he did claim that he's taking jabs at pocket watches in this part particularly, but that isn't what he's doing. You're literally just poor shaming.
No, it's called being hyperbolic. I'm saying that, oh, if this upsets you, then I hope they do something else that makes you even more pissed off. Like, in that fucking same message you just showed on screen, I said obviously they shouldn't double the price. I mean, at this point, bro, you're just being straight up disingenuous.
Something you called other people out for fairly recently. Sure, it may have been your intention, but your actions do not remotely match them. And regardless, why on earth are you so triggered by people discussing how you spend your money when you fucking invited them to do so?
Because if they want to talk shit, I'll talk shit back. That's like the entire foundation of my YouTube streams.
And he claims he doesn't support Nvidia locking DLSS 3 behind the 40 series.
iLobo Gaming with the 10. Also, do you justify Jensen? Who the fuck is that? Putting DLSS 3 behind a paywall with the 4000 series cards, where 30 series can run. I don't even know what that means, but sure, no, I don't support it. If it can run it on the old cards, that's kind of stupid. But honestly, I know nothing about that.
But he's also buying a 40 series card.
Yeah, dude, it's because I have a job and make money that allows me to buy things I want. Being an adult is great, dude. You got a couple more years, so just hang in there.
You can't not support something and then financially support it, Griffin.
No, that logic is still incredibly flawed, man. It's like perfect example. I got the Fold 4. For example, they added this new taskbar feature to the Fold 4 that could have easily been added to the Fold 3. And while it's bullshit they didn't add it to the Fold 3, it's still not going to influence my purchasing decision because I still see a value in what I'm spending my money on. So you're confusing the idea of not agreeing with the decision versus a boycott. I've never said that I'm going to boycott a GPU, bro, or anything related to Nvidia at all, so I don't really know where this is coming from. I think you're having a massive logical fallacy here.
That makes no sense. You know, Griffin's actions don't appear to match his supposed intentions in this scenario at all. Also, how the fuck do you not know who Jensen is, and how the fuck do you not know what DLSS is? You are spending over $1,600 on a single component of your computer, and somehow your dumbass doesn't even know about its single biggest selling point.
Bro, why are you so upset that I don't know about the technical specifications or the Nvidia CEO's name? Like, I don't care, dude. I literally, like, let me break this down, okay? Like, in every PC video I've ever made, I've always said this. Like, the way I built my computer is I literally just bought the most expensive component in every single category on NZXT. That's how I built my computer, bro. I know nothing about these parts, nor do I care about these parts. I just want the most powerful GPU on the market. That's it, bro. The 4090 is the most powerful GPU on the market. That's what I want to have in my computer. All that extra shit, I don't really care about. That is not my specialty, and I will never pretend to have an understanding of technology that I know nothing about. And on top of that, why are you pressed that I'm spending $1,600 and why are you calling me a dumbass for spending my money how I want to, bro? Like, again, like I said, guys, this is definitely one of those cases where I think this shit really struck home.
Don't ask questions. Just consume product and then get excited for next product.
I honestly don't think I've ever seen a better example of that meme. My man is the pure embodiment of it. The reason the quote-unquote pocket watchers are angry is because you're doing the very thing you criticize others for.
Do you mind pointing me to an example of where I have called out someone for spending their money how they want to? Because I highly doubt that shit exists.
Just consuming products without questioning anything. You couldn't have made that more abundantly clear when you stated you didn't even know what DLSS is.
But what I do know is the 4090 is going to be Nvidia's most powerful GPU, and I want the most powerful GPU. That's all I need to know, my guy. It doesn't really matter. I'm not in this shit for all the technical specifications and benchmarking and all that other crap. That's somebody else's domain. I've never pretended that it's mine. I don't know, man. I just fucking hate people like that. So much. Get a fucking job and get off of YouTube. Again, I'm talking about the people who do nothing but sit on the internet all day, have no life of their own, no job or anything like that, and just complain about how other people spend their money. I think we can go ahead and move on.
Someone whose income is significantly supported by YouTube tells other people to go outside and get a job, as well as get off YouTube. It never fails to fall flat on his face because of how insanely unself-aware you have to be in order to make that comment.
My dude, if you're doing absolutely nothing with your life but sitting on the internet all day, yelling at people for spending their money how they want to, or better yet, Mischief, you know, a perfect example for you. Console fanboys that have no life, no job, and do nothing but sit on social media all day arguing about consoles. Do you think those people should probably get off YouTube and go get a job? I think so too. Also, I have a job, bro. YouTube has always just been a hobby for me.
You actively make money off of creating content for these people to consume via YouTube, telling them to get off the site that was your sole source of income for around 2 years.
You have no fucking clue what my income looks like, bro. Shut the fuck up.
And to get a job takes a level of ignorance only the streaming version of Griffin could produce. If it wasn't for those sad brokies sitting around and watching your content, then you wouldn't be able to afford nearly as many things as you can.
You know, I ain't trying to flex or anything, man, but I would still be able to afford to buy multiple 4090s every single month if I really wanted to. See, this is what I mean, man. This is the definition of a fucking pocket watcher. Like, he's literally falling into the exact crowd of people I was criticizing originally.
It does genuinely feel as if Griffin does his streams on autopilot mode without a single thought passing through his head before talking sometimes.
I mean, I'm just gonna pose this question real quick. Have you ever tried playing 24/7 shipment on Modern Warfare for an extended period of time, man? Your brain completely fucking focuses on that shit. And admittedly, yeah, I did choose my words very poorly. Holy fuck. And that's the scary thing is, too, we're not even talking about a lot of money. It's literally fucking 1,500 bucks, man. That is not a life-changing sum for any human being on this planet.
Mario!
How fucking goddamn delusional do you have to be to unironically think that 1,000 US dollars, let alone 1.5 grand, is not a life-changing sum of cash?
Again, like I said at the beginning, I will hold the L on this one. I should have said this way better. I meant to say the people considering buying the highest end GPU, that the $1,500 price tag is not going to be a life-changing sum of money. Because if you're in a situation where you could even consider spending that much money on a GPU, 1,500 bucks ain't going to break you, and that's the point I was trying to make, and I just said it really shitty.
The levels of ignorance required to believe such a thing could frankly only possibly come from someone who has been financially shielded by mommy and daddy their entire life.
My dude, you are 17, the textbook definition of what you just accused me of being. I've lived alone and supported myself for what, 6 years now, and been doing just fine.
If you are wondering why people dislike your take, a major factor is because you are incredibly out of touch with reality, my friend. How are you confused as to why people aren't happy with this take?
No, I can actually understand why people are upset with that one.
This isn't just making fun of the pocket watchers, this is nothing but pure ignorant gibberish, in all honesty.
Like, people are acting like this is the price of a fucking car. No, it's like $1,000, bro. If you sell your existing GPU and buy it, you're probably going to spend $1,000. Which, this is the top of the line card. Less than 1% of the market is probably going to buy it. It's just so fucking annoying.
The funniest part about this clip in particular is that my brother's first car did genuinely cost around £100, less than the asking price of an RTX 4090 from Nvidia in the UK.
Yeah, but how old is that car, bro? If you look at a 20-year-old GPU, I guarantee you're not paying $1,500 for that shit. That's a terrible analogy. Just like technology, cars depreciate in value over time. That's a dog shit virtue signaling analogy, and you fucking know it. Go look at the price of new cars. You're not gonna find shit for $1,500.
These are not reasonable prices no matter how rich you are, and the literal only reason as to why Nvidia priced them the way that they did was so that they could sell the 30 series cards off, since they had overproduced them in an attempt to cash in on the dead crypto mining scene. They are giving the 30 series artificial value to make back the money they lost last generation.
So are you complaining that the 30 series cards are now more affordable and accessible to the general population? Like, why is that a bad thing that now the 30 series cards are way more affordable? Like, shouldn't that be a positive thing that Nvidia is doing? Like, hey, they're releasing their new cards, but at the same time, their older versions, which are still really fucking great, you know, those cards are much more affordable now. Like, shouldn't that be something that should be applauded instead of them just keeping the price the same as it was? Like, shit, I've had a couple people in my chat come by and say they got a 3090 Ti for under $1,000, bro. I paid $1,800 for my 3090 when it came out. Like, that's incredible, man. That's something that should be, like, exciting. That's what PC gaming I thought was all about, is consumer choice and waiting to upgrade when you actually wanted to and spending as much money as you wanted to. Why are people acting like Nvidia is holding a gun to their head making them upgrade to the 40 series? If you don't like the price, just wait it out. The price is going to come down eventually.
Due to bad financial decisions they made, while simultaneously cashing in on the idiots like you willing to spend that insane amount of money on a single component of their computer.
So I'm an idiot because I want to spend my money how I want to. That's a very interesting perspective to have.
And as soon as those cards are gone, you can bet your ass the price will go down to around what the MSRP should have been.
My guy, everybody knows that when you're the early adopter of technology, you pay the highest price, unless you're buying a PlayStation 5. But anyway, just wait it out, bro. If the price is going to come down at some point, just wait. Your 30 series card is going to work perfectly fine. Unless Bitcoin goes to like fucking 60K again, I highly doubt we're going to have a rush on GPUs again.
Not only that, but the whole premium product stance is one that's a self-defeating argument. Especially when you've previously and rightfully called out Sony for increasing their PS5's price by £50 in the UK/Europe.
But see, that's a very different situation because both the 30 series GPUs and the PlayStation 5 came out in 2020. So in that 2-year time frame, the 30 series cards have gone down in their retail price while PlayStation has gone up, which is the complete opposite of the typical trend we see with technology products. That's why it's okay to call Sony out. If Sony released a PlayStation 5 Pro, for example, for $600, nobody would care. It's a new piece of technology. They're establishing a new MSRP. They're not raising the price of technology that's already been on the market for years. They're releasing something brand new at an initial price, which you can expect to go down over time. That's how this shit works. So comparing the PlayStation 5, a console that's been on the market for 2 years, to GPUs that haven't even released yet is absolutely idiotic.
What point do we turn around and say maybe that's too much money? After all, why can't Sony increase the price of the PS5? It's a premium product at the end of the day.
No one's saying they can't increase the price. They're saying that it's not a good look when your product's already been on the market for 2 years. Instead of dropping the price, you're raising it.
Fuck it, why not double the price? And I better not hear any brokies complain about it.
Yeah, like the thing is like less than probably 5% of the entire PC market would even consider buying a 4090. But yet everyone's outraged over the price of something they're never gonna fucking buy. I don't get it. I mean, is that not like a factual statement, dude? Is it not weird? Like, let's put this into perspective since we're talking about cars, man. Like, this would be like me getting upset over Lamborghini raising the price of the Lamborghini Urus and going after random people who want to go buy the new model of the Lamborghini Urus and saying, oh my god, you wasted your money, you're ruining the car industry, how fucking could you? Like, I know damn well I don't have enough money to buy that car, so why would one Lamborghini ever listen to my input on the matter? And why would some motherfucker who's making way more money than me give a fuck about my opinion on a car I can't even afford? Like, it's literally the equivalent of yelling at a brick wall just to be angry, and that's what I just don't understand in all of this. It's not like this is a fucking console or some bullshit where it's like literally marketed towards people who don't have a lot of money to spend on fucking gaming hardware. Like, that's the whole point of a console, or like lower end GPUs, or the previous generation GPUs. Like, of course, if you buy the top of the line, brand new, most powerful graphics card on the market, you're gonna pay a lot of money for it. Duh shit. I don't know, man. It's just obnoxious.
The idea that people are not allowed to comment on something simply because they cannot afford it is one built up of nothing but brain dead and insufficient logic.
I'm not saying that people aren't allowed to, my guy. I'm saying I don't understand why you're wasting your time doing so. Listen, I'm not out here complaining about the price of fucking Rolexes going up across the entire market because I'm not in the market for a Rolex, and therefore it would be absolutely stupid and a waste of my time and everyone else's for me to sit there and bitch about it. So yes, you are free to complain about anything you want and everything you want. I just don't understand why you would personally choose to complain about something you have zero intention of buying in the first place. That is my point.
The income of someone is irrelevant to the point they are making.
Aren't you the one who was literally bringing up my income earlier? So what the fuck is this shit? You know, I thought I've been relying on mommy and daddy for my entire life, man, and YouTube makes up my only source of income, apparently. I mean, in the words of our boy Crap Gamer, you might want to try to
keep that same energy.
These cards are not priced the way they are because that's how they should be. It's the reasoning I gave earlier. Nvidia made too many 30 cards. Just reading out how many cards there are in the 30 series should tell you that in and of itself. You have the 3050, 50 Ti, the 3060, the 60 Ti, the 3070, the 70 Ti, the 3080, the 3080 Ti, and then the 3090, and then the 3090 Ti. The consumer should not take the brunt of Jensen's hilariously terrible business decisions.
So them taking the brunt of Jensen's terrible business decisions means they're able to pick up 30 series cards for half of their MSRP. You know, if that means I'm at the brunt of something, you know, pound me harder, Daddy Jensen. Shit, I would have loved to pay $1,000 for a 3090 Ti. Again, shouldn't this be something that like the PC community's celebrating, that they're able to get these awesome 30 series cards for basically dirt cheap at this point? I mean, that's literally the recommendation I've been making to people in my stream for the past couple weeks when I've seen some of these incredible deals on GPUs.
I have no idea how they thought it would be sustainable to make that many cards even with the crypto market at the time. And no, Griffin, the 40 lineup of GPUs isn't intended for 1% of gamers in the first place.
Oh shit, you're right, man. It's actually less than that. Only about 0.5% of Steam users even have a 3090 at all. So yeah, I guess my point's even more valid than before. So I think it's pretty safe to say at this point that most people statistically talking about this whole thing were not going to buy one anyway.
It's for Blender and similar software, and I know for a fact that if you do make a response video to this video, you're going to bring up the fact that the Titan series got made into the 90 series.
I mean, that's a very true statement. And how much did those Titan cards used to cost? A hell of a lot more than a fucking 3090 or 4090 did. I believe the Titan RTX from the 20 series was like $2,500 MSRP. So with the 4090 being what, $900 cheaper than that, Nvidia's actually lowered the price across the board when it comes to that class of GPU.
But the problem with that is they brought the quote-unquote Titan cards into the consumer branch of electronics that they sell.
Are you actually implying that the normal consumer would never be able to buy a Titan card in the past? Like, are you kidding me? They used to sell those things at Best Buy. I don't think it becomes any more available to the average consumer than walking into your local Best Buy.
You cannot be charging workstation prices for GPUs when you are selling them to consumers.
My dude, if consumers can't use workstation GPUs, then who the fuck is using them? Why would Nvidia sell something that no one's gonna fucking buy? And also, you're ignoring the fact that the RTX Titan was literally $900 more expensive than the 4090. They have lowered the price of that class of GPU drastically to make it more accessible to people who want a workstation card.
You charge consumer electronic prices, not scalper prices. These cards are no longer in the Titan lineup, they're in the consumer branch. Maybe instead of raging at your viewers for being broke, take 2 seconds to listen to what they're saying, because you will not be seeing any noticeable improvements moving from your 3090 to 4090.
Yeah, I don't want it for the gaming performance, my dude, and why are you concerned about how I'm spending my money? Again, like if I want a 4090 and I have the money for it, why is it any of your business? I want it for the actual NVEC encoding portion of it. I want to be able to stream at higher resolutions, record gameplay at higher bit rates, and edit and render my videos more efficiently. That's literally what the 3090 and 4090 cards are built for. People who do more than just play video games on their computer, which I am one of those people. And while I can still get some value out of my 3090, and I can also write off my 4090 on my taxes, I can upgrade to the new GPU for less than $500. Why the fuck would I not do that?
Please do not believe those bullshit fake IA generated frame rate graphs. However, I will say that Nvidia is slowly but surely pricing out the general consumer along with their primary market for the 90 cards.
How are they pricing out people from this like 90 series of cards, bro? Like literally, if you didn't have a problem spending $1,500 plus on a 3090, most likely you spend a lot more than that. Like myself, you're not going to mind spending $1,600 for the next generation of that card if you actually have a use or want for it. Like this is a $100 increase. Like it's less than a 10% upcharge from the previous model. Not to mention, all across the board, the 3090 cards and 3090 Ti's are extremely cheap at the moment. If anything, it's never been more accessible to get into like a 3090 style GPU.
Because frankly, Nvidia do not see AMD as competition. They are making the same mistakes as Intel did, and you are directly supporting it whether you say you are or not.
If you buy any sort of Nvidia card, you're supporting that type of business, so it doesn't matter, man. Unless you have an AMD card in your PC, I really would not be talking right now.
Plus, as I said earlier, the whole premium product argument is self-defeating, because at what point do you draw the line? A $2,000 card, a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 card? We saw pretty clearly with the 3090 Ti that even the people who Griffin thinks would consider buying a 4090 like myself are not open to the prices they want us to pay. Especially when people in the UK and Europe are seeing even higher prices for the exact same products. Are you seriously going to defend the fact that the 4090 costs damn near $3 grand in Australia?
It's like literally, bro, I don't know. It's like that Kanye lyric, bro. I'm done taking advice from people less successful than me. That's some fucking straight facts.
Jesus Christ, if I could show you guys how much I cringed at that moment, I would, but my god, does this man give off the highest level of sheltered frat boy energy at times.
Yeah, when it comes to advice, I think I'd probably listen to Kanye West over somebody like you.
If you're a Kanye West fan, you're not a fan of me, you're a fan of yourself. You will believe in yourself.
And no, Griffin, I don't give a single fuck that you see the value in an RTX 4090, because guess what? Unlike you claim, it is not just your money you are spending. It is money donated by the very people you are calling broke losers who need to get off YouTube. Come on.
I really hate to do this type of shit, man, because I'm not really a huge flexer, to be honest. You know, it may come off that way, but I'm really not. But, dude, I work a job that pays very, very well. My rent alone is, like, literally 1.5 times the price of a 4090. And my job more than covers my rent, dude. If I wanted to buy multiple 4090s every single month with just the money I make from work alone, not including YouTube, not including my investments, not including my reselling business, just from work, I could buy multiple of them every single month for the rest of my life. And I'm not trying to flex or anything, bro, but it's like I hate this argument of like, oh, you make money off of YouTube, so therefore your audience has a say in how you spend your money. It's like, no, they don't, bro. I'm not like on this DSP level energy, pleading poverty, begging for donations, acting like I'm gonna get kicked out on the fucking street unless they give me money. I have never asked for donations. If people give me money, it's 100% their choice, and I'm free to do whatever I want with that money. So I hate this fucking attitude, bro. Like, you make money off of YouTube as well, and I watch your content, so should I have a say in every single fucking purchase you make?
Griffin, take your own advice. You're already halfway there since you already have a job. Why not commit? When you're actively taking money from people and are actively discussing what you do with that money in the public eye, then everyone has the fucking right to comment on it. Quit crying about it. You are quite literally the reverse of Robin Hood at this point. Happy taking money from the poor, shit talking them, and then giving it to the rich.
Bunch of brokies are telling me that I'm ruining the fucking GPU market. Eat a fucking cock. Yeah, I stand by that statement. If you claim that I'm ruining the GPU market, you can eat a fucking dick. But see, that's kind of the context that was missing, man. Those were the people I'm talking about. The people claiming I'm ruining fucking PC gaming. That's what that whole rant was about. Nobody else. Holy fuck, dude.
Man, I wonder why people aren't taking kindly to your take here. It's almost as if you should form a coherent argument rather than just returning to the state of an edgy high schooler and calling them broke whilst they're at least half of the reason you can even afford these GPUs.
Wait, again, I thought it was a bad thing to talk about people's income. I don't know, man. I just love the fucking irony. Yeah, there's gonna be like 40, there's probably gonna be like a 4050, a 4060, 4070. They always announce the high-end.
I love to break it to you, Griffin, but the 4060 is already here. It's the 4080 12GB model, which is essentially a $900 4060 card. There's also a substantial gap between the 4090 and the 16GB 4080 model in terms of CUDA cores, so I'm even more inclined to claim that the 12GB version is a 60 card, with the 16GB model being the actual 4070.
But see, like, this has nothing to do with what I'm talking about here, dude. I'm not making this argument. I don't claim to understand this type of stuff when it comes to GPUs. Literally, the only thing I'm complaining about is people upset that I want to spend my money on a new GPU if I want to. I'm not sitting here defending Nvidia's decision to, like, nerf the shit out of the fucking 4080 cards. Like, I think that's stupid if that's true. I don't really know why you're, like, putting this argument in this video when it has nothing to do with what I was even talking about in the first place. I was solely talking about people being upset about me buying a 4090 and previously a 3090. If Nvidia's pulling some bullshit with the 4080 series, go ahead and call it out. You'll get no objection from me.
God, I love Nvidia. Aren't they just the best? But hey, Griffin, I'm sure you'll find so much value in the fake frame rates. Unfortunately, I don't have the rest of the rant since Griffin deletes all his streams, but as I said earlier, you are inviting the discussion, and then when you get the slightest bit of pushback, you cry and stream about how people are backstabbing you and how poor people shouldn't comment on something they can't afford.
Yeah, if that's not the definition of a fucking straw man, I don't really know what the fuck else is.
According to how Griffin has been behaving for the past few days, it's perfectly okay for him to criticize other channels who he is friendly with and it not be quote-unquote clout chasing or backstabbing. But
my dude, the only one using the word backstabbing is fucking you. Also, I'm not a clouded person on YouTube. Like, what the fuck, dude? You know, I'm honored that you hold me to that high of an esteem, but it just really isn't the case.
But as soon as he gets even a little community post made in order to announce a video covering an objectively bad take of his, he cries and pulls the clout chasing card.
My dude, your thumbnail literally said that I hate poor people. Shut the fuck up.
Something he agrees you only do if you have no arguments to make. I know you were going for an epic roast with your community post, but by scrolling through the comments underneath, it's fairly certain you fell flat on your insecure ass. Maybe, just maybe, Griffin, do not take everything so goddamn personal, because frankly, behind the scenes of this entire situation, you have been acting far more calmly and far more reasonable.
No shit, dude. Of course I act differently when I'm not fucking streaming. Are you kidding me? Drama's the name of the game on YouTube, and I'm gonna milk that shit for all it's fucking worth. So of course I'm gonna pretend to care more about something when I'm actually, you know, performing for my audience basically than behind the scenes when I'm not like being recorded and shit. Like, duh. Like, I want to ask you a serious question here, man. Do you really think I care about anything related to gaming on any sort of level deeper than it being an entertainment product? And if your answer is yes, you have completely misjudged me.
But when specifically speaking to your viewers, you're pretending as if the entire gaming community is looking to rip apart your YouTube career. Get over yourself and get a bloody grip already. My video was never intended as some fucking hit piece like you're trying to suggest to your viewers it was. I don't know why me making a video has put you in full panic mode and damage control mode, but for some reason it seems to have done that.
This is really sad to me, bro. You'll get it eventually. Trust me, your time will come when you'll realize that if you play up drama on YouTube, everybody involved makes more money. So me playing this shit up has indirectly helped you. You're welcome. It's also helped me. It's driven a lot of people to my streams. It's driven my engagement up. I've gotten a lot of money from super chats while streaming talking about this very topic. Like, it's not a secret, man. Drama sells on YouTube, so I'm gonna give the people what they fucking want.
If you had just said, I want it, so I'm going to buy it, no one would have even remotely cared.
My dude, in this video, you literally prove that is not fucking true. You call me an idiot and a moron for spending money on a 4090.
It's the added horseshit of poor shaming viewers over quote-unquote pocket watching. And with all of that being said, we have finally come to the end of the video.
Thank God, bro. This dude makes Yong Yeah sound like the fucking Busta Rhymes of YouTube commentary. But anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for this video today. Could I have worded it better? Obviously, yes. But I was in a live setting, playing Call of Duty, mainly focusing on the game, in a toxic mindset as it was. So yeah, I apologize if anybody took offense to that. It was not my intention. The only people I was intending to call out were the people who were upset about me spending my money how I want to. So again, if it don't apply, let it fly. And yeah, I will try to do better moving forward, but you never know what's going to happen when you're playing 24/7 shipment, man. That's all I can say. But anyway, guys, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to drop a like on it. I would greatly appreciate it. And as always, I do want to thank you all so much for taking the time out of your day to check out this video and for all the recent support as well. You guys are the fucking best, and I really do appreciate it. So with that shit said, I will catch you guys next time.